Hi there, I'm Jin with Yoga with Jin and Choice Yoga, and I wanted to talk to you today a little bit about anatomy and the way your body works. I was speaking with my friend Victoria, who lives in Chicago, yesterday, and I told her I'd make this video for her and for you all because I think it's important to understand how your body works and how you can make your body feel better. Sometimes we get into the philosophical aspects of yoga versus the physical aspects of yoga and wonder kind of what the two have to do with each other. And as you all know, I'm doing this project Choice Yoga this year about how our choices affect our reality. And when we don't feel well in our physical body, it clouds our judgment sometimes, and when we do feel good, then it's easier for us to make better choices. So taking care of our body is as important as taking care of our mind, our spirit, our emotions. They're all connected, and when they're all feeling good, it's easier for us to make those better, maybe more positive choices. And so it's important to take care of your body and to understand how it works so that you can make it feel good. So one of the things that I'm quite passionate about, because it was something that really affected me early in my life, is how your feet work. And one of the most important aspects of how your feet work is that they're meant to have an arch in them, so the bend and there in the middle of your foot. And that bend in the middle of your foot, the arch, it by physics is meant to absorb shock. So arches absorb weight and pressure and can take the shock out of things. So when the arch of your foot isn't there, that shock absorption isn't happening, isn't functioning, and it takes the shock and the weight of you running or stepping or even standing, and takes that and puts it into everything else above it. So when you don't have arches in your feet, it's going to affect your ankles, your knees, even your hips. It's going to send that weight and that shock all the way up your whole body. I don't know if you can hear my animals running around and playing with each other, but I apologize for that. So I'm going to talk a little bit about that today because I think it's a very interesting thing. My own personal journey, I had flat feet when I was born and had flat feet for most of my life. I even competed with gymnastics for 14 years with flat feet. I never pointed my toes well. I always got points taken off for that. And in the end, I had really bad knee problems on my right knee, and that's what made me have to quit gymnastics. In my mind, those two things were never connected. I didn't know to put those two things together, but I had this bad knee. I had acupuncture at one point that helped out my knee a lot and made it so I wasn't in constant pain anymore. But then years later, when I did my teacher training with my teacher Jennifer Lynn over on Maui, we were talking about knees and knee problems, and she said something to the effect of, well, of course your knees don't feel that great, Jen, you have flat feet. You should make yourself an arch. And I said, you can do that? And she said, yeah, you can. And so I spent about 2 years changing the way I worked my feet and changing the way I practice yoga to make arches in my feet. And now, if you can see, I have a pretty okay arch in my foot. It's not huge, but it's there. And I haven't had knee problems in several years. I even can run with my dog whenever I want to. In fact, we got done running here just a little while earlier today. So it's really amazing. Sometimes you think things in your body are stuck a certain way or that they're always going to be that way, but that's not always true. Our bodies have infinite capacity to heal themselves. They have the capacity to change if we put in the effort and the time to do that. So what I did to work on changing my feet was a couple things. One, I started learning how to engage the arch of my foot, and it's super important. So I'm going to stand up here for just a minute. I'm going to let you keep looking at my feet. I don't know if you'll be able to see the rest of me. I'll let you keep looking at my feet. So when your feet are on the ground, and if they're just hanging out, sometimes they might even dip to the inside and your arch might flatten out. But to engage your foot and to make the arch, the musculature of the arch work and happen, you actually can just lift your toes. When you lift your toes, you can feel those muscles there in the arch of your foot just lift up. And so that's engaging those muscles. So for about 2 years, I practiced my entire yoga practice pretty much every time my feet are on the ground with my toes lifted, which was a really strange way to practice, but it really started developing the arch of my feet. I also started working on standing like that whenever I was just standing around. So I was doing a lot of science at that time, as many of you know, and I would stand at the lab bench and do my science, lifting up my toes. In order to do that, I got some shoes from New Balance called Minimus that have a Vibram sole on the bottom that lets you move your foot. You can also get the Vibram 5-finger shoes, and nowadays there's quite a few other kinds of shoes that have a flexible bottom so that you can use your foot when you're wearing them. And I highly recommend getting those. I pretty much don't wear anything else. But yeah, so just engaging your foot as much as you can will start to build that arch. The other thing that I did during that time was I would do these exercises with a towel on the ground. And I'll slide this maybe a little so you can see. So you can do it standing or you can do it sitting. And so basically, just sitting with a towel in front of you, take the towel and use your toes and move the towel towards you. And that will help to make those muscles of your arch start to engage and help to develop your arch. So you can just do both feet, and you can do that several times a day if you like. Maybe a few repetitions with the towel, and that'll start to change the way that your foot works. Can you sit? Okay, there you go. So I hope that's helpful, and if you have questions, take it easy. You can post them in the comments below, and or contact me on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter at Yoga with Jin. And of course, please follow my new yoga project, Choice Yoga. It's on Instagram and Twitter, and then Choice Yoga Project if you're trying to look it up on Facebook. And hopefully I will see you guys again soon, and I hope you have a great day, and hope you enjoyed this little bit of information about your feet. All right, aloha.